everybody. I'm Chef Tony Johnson, and welcome to Chef's Corner. Welcome everybody, I'm Chef Tony Johnson, and today we're going to be doing sauteed shrimp over angel hair pasta and a classic Alfredo sauce. Today's ingredients are going to be angel hair pasta, some nice fresh tomatoes, some beautiful fresh basil, some garlic, a little purple onion, ground black pepper, salt, white wine, Parmesan cheese, some egg yolks, we'll separate these later, some olive oil, heavy cream, and of course some beautiful Gulf shrimp. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is take some of our dried pasta. I have some water already boiling over here. It's at a nice rapid boil. I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt. Season it with a nice healthy pinch of salt. This is going to flavor our pasta. This step is very important. We have a dry pasta that doesn't have any flavors or seasoning in it. So we're going to season the water so as it cooks it gets into that pasta. I'm going to grab a nice healthy handful of pasta. Clench the pasta like this. This is about enough pasta for 2 people. We sit there, we're going to cook it while we do our other mise en place. And mise en place is a French term to means to put in place. The kitchen has adapted to help keep everything nice and organized to ensure good, hot, flavorful food. And then we come back here while our pasta is cooking and we can do our other mise en place. First thing I need to do is get some gloves. And we're going to use another term, another French term for brunoise, which if you remember from our last film, it was 1/8 by 1/8 small dice. And we're going to brunoise this onion and we're going to brunoise the tomatoes. So I've cut the onion and I peeled the onion. I cut the onion in half. I'm going to go across it, nice and small. Keep the slices close. This is why it's very important to have a nice sharp knife so everything goes right through the product. There's no hesitation in it. And then I'm going to go straight down. And then I'll go straight across it again. And this will create the nice small dices that we need for our recipe. As you can see, nice beautiful dice. And now I have a pan over here on medium-high heat. I'm going to bring our shrimp and our olive oil over and we're going to saute them real quick. This is the reason why it's very important to have your mise en place. It's a fast dish. It's not going to take long for the shrimp to cook and for the angel hair pasta. First you're going to add your olive oil. We're going to sit there and bring it up. The reason why you want to heat your pan is that way nothing sticks to it. The more heat you have on there, all those microscopic holes in the pan close up and nothing will stick to it. Sometimes even if you put a little oil in before the pan gets hot, things will actually stick. Even though you have a bunch of oil in there, and that's because you didn't let the pan heat up. So very important, let the pan heat up. Again, we don't have too much olive oil in here because we're not frying it. Just enough to saute it. Saute in French means to jump. And we want a nice hot pan so we can get this shrimp jumping. Again, making that item jump. With my clean gloves, I'm going to season with a little bit of salt and let that cook. And then I'm going to add in those brunoise onions. as I change my glove. Add these onions in. And a little bit of that garlic. We'll do about 2 cloves. And again, we'll smash the garlic. And just give it a nice rough chop. We'll add that to our shrimp. And then we'll let it jump some more and let everything work its way in there. And as we let this saute over here and our pasta is still cooking, we're going to make the sauce real quick. And this is a classic Alfredo. We're going to take the yolks out of 2 eggs and we're going to separate them. Just nicely separate them to get that nice yolk. Alright. Then we're going to whisk some of this heavy cream in with these egg yolks. And of course, we're going to season. Alright. The egg yolks are in. A little bit of heavy cream. We're going to do about a cup. I know everybody's used to this thickened Alfredo sauce, but this is actually a really classic way of doing it. We're going to saute the shrimp and the pasta together and then take it off the heat and then add this sauce to it. A little bit of pepper. We've got the salt. Just a little bit. We season that pasta, we season the shrimp, and we have to season our sauce. And now we're going to add the angel hair pasta to the sauteed shrimp, and then we're going to take it off the heat, and we're going to marry our sauce into there. You can hear the shrimp still almost talking to us with the heat. We're going to take the angel hair pasta that's been cooked, add it to the shrimp. And you want a little bit of this pasta water. This pasta water is going to help bring it all the flavors together. As this comes up, we're going to add just a little bit of white wine. Your choice. Always go with something that you would drink. It just takes a little bit of dash. This is going to bring some acidity and bring out a lot of those fresh seafood flavors. Give it a quick saute, and then we're going to come to our Alfredo sauce. Again, the heat is off. We don't want the eggs in the sauce to cook. We just want the eggs to cook, or should I say scramble. We just want them to cook just enough to thicken the sauce. And then we fold that in. And then for our finishing touches, we're going to brunoise some fresh tomatoes and chiffonade some fresh basil. And here we are. Look at these beautiful fresh tomatoes. We're going to brunoise them. We're going to just slice them. Nice thin slices. Now, a good trick when you're cutting with your knife, keep the tip of your knife down, your knuckles back, and go through a rocking motion. People get in trouble when they lift up the knife and they go past their knuckle, and that's when they usually cut themselves. Now make nice stacks. Again, all the same procedure. Tipping my knife down, rocking formation, and making some straight lines. Turn my tomato, tip the knife down, rocking motion, and again, beautiful brunoise. And then we're going to take a couple of our leaves of basil. This nice fresh basil. I don't think there's anything better than the smell of fresh basil. It just brings a dish together. I'm going to stack them nicely, and I'm going to roll them tight. chiffonade is just thin slices. So we're going to go straight across with this. Again, tip of the knife down, rocking motion. I'm not getting myself in trouble by going above the knuckle. I'm keeping it down so there's no way for me to cut myself. And then you can see these beautiful chiffonade thin strips of basil. Alright, now we're going to grab our pasta and we're going to finish our plate. Bring it on over here. And we're going to grab a plate here from the cabinet. We have a nice beautiful green plate. We're going to add these ingredients to the pasta. Again, in the previous Chef's Corner, I mentioned that I like to add our fresh herbs at the end. That way those herbs stay nice and green and that you get that very strong pungent smell from the fresh basil. And I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese and a little bit of pepper. And we'll grab our tongs and we'll give this a quick stir. You can see the sauce is nice and coated all this pasta. And I'm mixing in those fresh herbs. And now we go for our plating. I'm going to stab my tongs in, give it a nice twirl. Twirl that pasta around the tongs. And then just go right over my plate. Get some of these shrimp around. And now we're garnished with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Just top it with that. And you can grab a couple of these whole basil leaves. I just lay a couple on top. Just like that. And then go around with a nice drizzle of olive oil. And there you have it. Sauteed shrimp with angel hair pasta and a classic Alfredo sauce. Thank you again for coming to Chef's Corner, and I'm Chef Tony Johnson, and I can't wait to see you again.